All right. Well, let's end it abruptly. Welcome, everybody. This is the Stone Fruit Roll-Up. We are here every Thursday on YouTube and also on my personal LinkedIn page at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. That's 9 a.m. Pacific Time and 5 p.m. GMT for our friends over in London. Hi, Jilly. And I am Rebecca Gunter, your host of this weekly live show. Today, we're going to talk about something very near and dear to my heart, and that is around the art of articulation and why it's really important to building a brand and your brand strategy or your content marketing strategy. And we're going to pull back the curtain on the work and show folks at home kind of how it is done with some real live participants. I'm going to drop my email address here on the banner. Positioning and messaging workshops, a define your brand workshop, which is what you're essentially going to watch right now, is something I've been doing for over a decade. It is some of my favorite work to do. I absolutely love to do positioning and messaging so that businesses can get the words that work, the words they need to attract their ideal customer and their ideal colleagues and really stay in their zones of genius and feel great about who they are. So if you want to have this done for you, certainly give me a shout. Give me a shout here on this email address, rebecca.gunter@stonefruit, STONEDFRUIT.com, and we'll get you hooked up whether you want to come on live coaching on this show. It's free to apply, or you'd like to bring me in a more formal capacity to do positioning and messaging for you and your business is my favorite thing to do. So without much further ado, allow me to just frame what we're talking about today. There's a process by which I do all of the content development and copywriting that comes kind of out of my furious little fingers onto client-facing work and then our own marketing. It is just simply creating a cohesive set of like branded words and phrases, which is more drippy than it needs to be, but the words that you use to articulate who you are and defining them. And that takes just kind of a journey throughout unpacking the following questions. Who are your people? What do you need? Sorry, what do they need? Who are you? What do you deliver? And why are you special, different, or the one? So this is a two-part series. We'll be back next Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to do a positioning reveal in which we look at some we look at 3 different positioning statements that I craft and some messaging and then polish them until we have the perfect plum that then can become the foundation, the brand foundation by which everything is done. So if you've done your work right, and we're going to do that right today, these two lovely ladies will have a positioning statement, and then they'll have some messaging that they can use to like, oh, well, that's a blog post. That's a video. Here's a campaign. Now we know how to talk to our people. Now I see our customers right away when they kind of walk through the door versus we're for everybody. So my goal is to get them clarity, confidence, and also the words that work. They need to write copy and market it themselves. So without further ado, please, that's my second further ado, please allow me to welcome Kathleen and Karen to our virtual stage in which we'll be playing in the marketing sandbox and doing the work of brand strategy around positioning. Yes. Hey, you did it. You made it here. This is awesome. Welcome, Kathleen and Karen. For folks who have seen maybe a familiar face here on the screen, Kathleen is also the righteous raspberry that I live and breathe for here at Stone Fruit. She's the reason that things get done and mommy stays working in her lane. So thank you for that. But like everyone associated with Stone Fruit, we all have our own entrepreneurial energy. And so we're here to talk about a different kind of business that has nothing to do with that, your own thing, which is fantastic. Welcome, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Indeed. Okay. So, as I shared kind of before we went live, we're really just going to have an open ended organic conversation. I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. I'm going to follow curiosity. I'm trying to get to the bottom of who are your people? What do they need? Who are you? What do you deliver? And why are you special, different, or the one? And so, this brand is called Holly and the Poppy, correct?
Yes.
Fabulous. I'm never sure where the goes, so I have to think about it. And the only thing I know about it is that we do some very cheeky or fun branded apparel. Kathleen, today you're wearing a fun shirt that's got probably a Holly and the Poppy production there. And in solidarity, I'm wearing my snarky shirt, which was a client present from
and I'm wearing
JT.
Nope,
hey! Not today. That is fantastic. So now we already kind of have a visual sense of what is the product, but I want to kind of pull back a little bit and talk about this business as a whole. Mm-hmm. How did you start Holly and the Poppy, and why?
Well, I've always wanted to be in business with my daughter, Kathleen.
Who wouldn't?
She's very creative in her way, very different from myself. And she's like the yin to my yang. I'm very artistic, scatterbrained, don't know how to do any of this computer stuff, not terribly interested in learning it. I just want to create and make. And Kathleen is the put you on the road and make you walk that road.
My shoes are worn out already, Karen. I know. You've given the audience a wonderful reveal that you are mother and daughter and that this is a family-owned business.
It is.
Kathleen, why did you say yes to your mom?
Because I didn't want to go to in real life work.
Very fair.
I like hanging out with my mom so much, and we've always like dabbled in doing stuff together, like painting furniture and crochet, like whatever. I don't crochet. That was a lie. My mom does. But like, I've always kind of watched her make things throughout my whole entire life. And I know that she wants a store and she wants her own business, and I want her to be able to make her own money. Like, not that like her, you know what I mean? She's been a stay-at-home mom for like 40 years.
I do know folks at home who are reinventing themselves or moms setting themselves free from traditional gender roles and writing the next chapter.
Correct.
So I ended up saying yes. First of all, she was already at my house watching my kids. So like, what am I going to say? Like, no, I'm not going to help you with that, but can you watch my kids so I can go to a job that I fucking hate? No, that's stupid, first of all.
Well, good for you for seeing the forest for the trees.
I was like, but I also knew this was just really important to her, and I wanted her to be able to have more things in life outside of just taking care of other people. And I love you so much, Mom, but like, you were not going to get there by yourself.
No.
No. Quote unquote. Yesterday I said she might have ADHD, and she said probably not, just flaky. And I was like, that sounds like somebody with ADHD would say. So
exactly. Who said that?
Yeah.
100%. But I love that you were able to kind of bring in your entrepreneurial energy to do something that you both can enjoy. How has this relationship positively and negatively impacted your mother-daughter relationship? Hashtag asking for a friend.
Oh, you're asking for a friend?
Well, I have my kids also kind of in my business a little bit, so.
It's sometimes difficult to put the mother-daughter relationship aside because we're like an equal partnership. And it's not that I've ever been the type of parent that has said you have to do this and you have to do that. Not that I was permissive either, but
oh my God, I don't think that would work with Kathleen.
It's
Never
been
did.
different because I've had a harder time putting my expectations or my specific wants on the table because I don't want it to be like, this is from your mother.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
that's interesting.
Oh, is it?
you didn't know that?
No, because she never says anything. She just goes, I don't know, maybe. So I would say the negative thing too on my end is that you're my mother, and I obviously do. Rebecca, you know how I work, what my expectations are like. Like, I will be up your ass 24/7. Shit gets done when it gets done, or I will be a total dick about it because we made the plan to do it. And that is very hard to be like that with my mother. So I find that I'm having a struggle with being like, we're equal partners, but I also sometimes don't feel like I can be 100% myself on the level that I normally am because I don't want to hurt my mom's feelings. Not because she's doing anything completely wrong, but because you know how I handle my business.
Yeah,
and
you don't. Am I hearing? I don't want to
Yeah.
be the badass that gets on my mom's nerves because I'm sensitive. Are you ready? Are you ready for bad? Are you ready for bad cop? Karen is from.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Like, one of the main reasons was because I wanted to allow Kathleen to be at home with her children. And I didn't have to be at home with her children unless I wanted to, and which I do very often. And sometimes I feel this almost is becoming a counseling session.
It does, yeah.
Always is.
Sometimes I feel like I don't want to add anything more to her stuff. And I do a lot of not doing things because I know she's busy. And I guess we have to be more professional.
Or just maybe have this talk and move forward with a new understanding.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool byproduct of this conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. So how is this impacting the business for both of you? That you're both.
We haven't really done anything.
Not
since Christmas.
Yeah. That's completely true. But there's a reason for that. For me, is because I no longer understand the business. At the end of December, we took a look at our sales, and 99.97% of our sales came from wholesale clients doing their swag.
And custom orders.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We sold maybe like 2 things that were pre-made. So we went from, it went from like business to customer to like business to business, really, and people just doing custom orders. So now we just went through this whole season together. We thought we were building like this one thing, and then it was like, okay, well, no one actually really bought that, and they're all buying this other thing, and we're like, what the fuck? What do we do with this? Because we've both never been in the business of like customs and like wholesale and doing all these like other things. Like, I have knowledge of it. We both have knowledge of it. My mom used to sell paint through doing wholesale and having a store, but it kind of just went from like this one idea of we're going to make some apparel for people to wear and it's going to be fun to something kind of completely different. And we've both been like, well, where do we go from here? Because now our customer has completely changed. How do we market to that? Because we were going to markets and you can't do one-off custom shirts and shit at markets. So just like everything got turned up on its head, and it's been like exactly this. Like, we don't know who we're supposed to be talking to. We have an idea of the type of people that like have bought from us. They're really quirky. They're really fun. We had a huge wholesale order from a local dispensary which was super sweet. A couple people bought this shirt. Some people got like their own for like personalized gifts. Businesses that I know and mom knows around town, like women-owned businesses. Like, you know, so it's just turned into like this thing that it wasn't before, and we're like, okay, so what the hell?
Well, what's been good, and I'm so glad you asked, because this is why we do this work. Like, it's great that I'm like, oh my god, then you'll have the words to do your marketing, but this is why, because if you don't have that clarity, you don't have momentum. And you guys have the double extra layer of each kind of second guessing, you know, how the other person's going to respond to like the lift of just pulling the wagon. And so I think if I could get you both excited about what this business could be moving forward, that would be good news. And so it does feel a little bit like therapy, Karen. I call it entrepreneurial. No, it does. I
cry almost every single time I do this with Rebecca. So
yeah, and everybody, it's almost always happens that way. In fact, we call it entrepreneur. That's how much it's
a service we offer.
That's absolutely true. Please see us at stonefruit.com/store and explore more from us, I shall say. Good one, Kathleen, for sure. Okay, so let's pull it back, though. This is really about Holly and the Poppy today. But thank you for that plug. What about kind of the custom wholesale aspect that took you by surprise did you actually like doing, and what did you not like doing?
You go first.
Actually, I was thrilled to get a wholesale contract. It was actually very, like I said, thrilling to have someone want, 100 shirts. That's amazing. Good profit margin. It's not so many that I wanted to shoot myself when I was, halfway through the order. It was a learning experience, made a lot of mistakes, figured out a lot of things. It was a good experience. And the next wholesale order that came in, it just went click, click, bang. I was really pleased with it. Like, we had a process in order. So I'm okay with wholesale orders right now. And I don't mind doing custom orders. Custom orders end up being very expensive for us, but it's cash flow. Like, a one-off shirt is expensive for us to make, but it's cash flow, and you want to keep your customers happy, so you're going to do things like that.
What didn't you like about it?
There's no creativity.
What if you could find a way to do both?
Well, that would be amazing. Would be amazing.
Kathleen, what about you? What did you think was like not great about small batch wholesale custom orders?
I actually enjoyed all of it because I know Mom and I are the exact opposite. I didn't have to create anything because people already came to us knowing what they wanted.
Exactly.
That's like, how I work, Rebecca. I liked that the people knew what they wanted. They just needed help executing it. And like, that is 100% my jam. I don't like making these things called gang sheets where you have to put the pictures on it. Like, that's literally the only thing I didn't like. And my mom does it. So like, I loved the shit out of that whole experience. I like being creative, but the anxiety of like having to purchase a bulk quality of stuff and not knowing what the return is going to be, especially in like a first year of a business, because we have no data on absolutely anything. And we just started in Christmas, so Christmas is like not the month you base your whole year on.
Correct.
Like, I just didn't like that. I don't like unpredictability, and if I can make the risk less, it's easier for me. But then again, my mom's like super creative and likes that part. So like I know there's like a good way for us to work together where she can be creative and I can help execute that, which is why I wanted to start this business with her in the first place. I think it just really boils down to like understanding exactly how we're going to do that.
Mm.
You're muted.
My God, what a rookie mistake! Because I have this little cough that I've been trying to mute myself during. Anyway, we'll figure that part out.
Yeah.
Let me pull back a little bit, Karen, and ask you. I want you to like just play a magic wand game with me. If you have a magic wand and you could create kind of like a perfect work day for yourself around this business, what would it look like? And what I want to hear is like, oh man, I talk to a few customers I know really well. And then I go off and I design a custom design. And then I go fabric shopping to see who has the softest shirt. And then maybe I go and check in with some, the Branded T-Shirt Association of Canada, and I look around their newsletter. I'm making all of this up. What would it be kind of like your ideal mix of a workday, a typical workday here?
A typical work day is I'd like to get up. It would be nice if there were some orders. I don't mind making orders on demand. Actually, I would probably find that more enjoyable, more immediate, gets me involved right from the get-go and gets my juices flowing, fulfilling orders, and then I can sit and relax and think about, okay, what products can we add to our line, or this cheeky shirt, I really love this. Do you think our customers would like it? Those sorts of things, and do some more collaboration with Kathleen.
Are you ever interested in collaborating with other creatives?
Of course.
Do you have anybody in your network now you could be like, let's work on a design together?
No, we don't.
That's not a deal breaker. I'm just asking.
No, as far as I know, we don't. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I know one girl who, you can call me Kitty. It's whatever, Mom. No one else is allowed to, but you can. I do know one girl who does do designing. Zahira. She did Pizza. You guys don't know Pizza Erin, but she did my reception. She's like the absolute bee's knees. I love her. Yeah. She did some drawings for Erin, and she did my old highlights for my Instagram. We could reach out to her. She's fab. I don't know what that would look like.
Kathleen, do you still have a relationship with your woman from whence we met that does the custom tumblers and stuff?
Oh, Natasha, yeah, shit.
I was gonna say Natasha, but I was afraid that wasn't right. So
Natasha's like one of my absolute besties. She comes over once a week, and we have coffee together. I text her all day long, and I'm going out with her tomorrow.
Okay, well, shout out to Natasha. First of all, we did a session like this for her around her business, and that's how I remember she's a thing. So, like, the more you talk to people, you never know. But I can see a collaboration or a partnership there. Karen, I want to ask you a question. When you said orders on demand, what does that mean?
Well, if we had a website and we had like sweatshirt, and someone says, I really, really want There Goes My Last Flying Fuck sweatshirt, which we had a million amazing comments on and no sales because everybody was too afraid to wear it. But if someone came to me, like they could go to the website and say, I want this cheeky saying on this color at this size. Like, I'm over pre-making stuff for sale.
Yeah.
I'm over that. It's not going to happen anymore because you just don't know what's going to sell,
Mhm.
and it's a waste.
And so why would the cheeky saying shirt person in the world go to you guys or be with you guys instead of like, you know, any other cheeky like apparel? I'm trying to figure out like what makes you special. Is it the way you design things? Is it your sayings? Is it the quality of your apparel? Like why you guys over whoever the competition is? All I can think of is Custom Ink, but
I don't even know what that is.
Cafe Cafe Press, maybe.
Oh, instead of going to a big guy.
Yeah, why you guys?
You can go ahead, Mom.
Well, right now we're pushing support local, woman owned. All our products are ethically sourced. What else, Katie? I forget.
No, that like really seems to be the thing, though. It's like really a lot of people local. We haven't obviously attempted to even go outside of Canada or our region. A lot of people like, women supporting women, family owned businesses, that type of thing. So most of the people that we have sold to, except for like our Big Nick energy shirt, has been mostly to other women. Yes. And our big wholesale order was from the guy from the dispensary wanted to use someone local as opposed to a big operation for customer support reasons. So he picked us because we're right down the road.
And what are your limitations, do you think, in terms of production?
I don't know.
Like how many we can do 1,000 shirts. We can do,
of course.
I'm sorry, I forgot to mute. We can do like, tell me all the things that somebody could order from you right now. Just spit them at me.
Sweaters.
Like
and coats.
Sweater and what?
T-shirt, tote bags. Okay, so we have crew neck in stock. We have crew neck sweaters, tote bags, T-shirts, long sleeves. But the ability to order shirts is obviously there. It takes about 2 days to get all of it in the mail.
So what's the turnaround for you guys?
The turnaround time right now for a big order would be 2 weeks tops. Now that we really know what we're doing.
Okay. I'm really surprised I haven't heard from either of you about creativity or designs that are so different and interesting. I haven't heard you talk about the art of it at all.
Well, because I've only created like 2 things, which I thought were really funny. I made a piece of pie that said I'm baked too, and I fucking loved that. And then like a tea towel that had a chicken on it that said "Rise and Shine, Mother Cluckers," and that sold really well too. Yeah, it was great. But for the most part, it's not like we design all of our stuff ourselves, and most of the people have brought us like designs that they want printed.
Correct.
So it's like, hey, I created this thing. Can you make a shirt for me? Sure.
And Kathleen, where do you think the real meat is here in this?
The real meat here in this is allowing other people to like bulk make their own shirts, but that doesn't light up my mom's heart. So
it doesn't crush it either.
Well, what would light up your heart, Karen?
What would light up my heart? I right now, my goals are to make enough money as a family that Kathleen can comfortably stay at home and I can pad our retirement, and to just be able to have something in my life besides how shiny my kitchen floor is.
I heard that. Well, there is more to life than shiny kitchen floors. So if you were allowed yourself some so sorry. If you were allowed yourself
don't
some
apologize.
Sorry, audience at home, I got a little cough. If you were allow yourself the fantasy that you could also find some artistic expression and really kind of allow your Karenness to come out, what would that look like for you? What do you tell me a little.
I expected that we would have to start off like cheeky but kind of mainstream. And as we got known, we could design our own stuff as we got more of a following. That was my expectation. That like Kathleen's, the 2 designs that she did were great.
Well, she's hilarious.
She is. People don't know how funny she is. But so I just expected, like, I'm a very sarcastic person. So I just a little.
You don't say.
Yeah, and I love sarcasm, and I especially love sarcasm that goes over people's heads. And I just assumed that eventually, if we caught on, our flavor would get a little bit stronger. You know, like getting used to the hot sauce.
Well, let's play in the hot sauce for a little while. Let's assume there are plenty of people being tartar sauce.
Okay.
Let's be hot sauce for a while. Tell me more about what that would look and feel like for you.
Well, I just think that people need to loosen up, and that especially in today's society, everybody's so uptight. You can't say things, you can't do things, and I just want to have the ability to wear a really cute top that says basically "fuck you, bitch, I had it, back off," but not quite that hard. Like,
so if you wonder where I got my personality from,
that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Karen's like, you can't say anything anymore. I was like, we said fuck about 1,000 times in 20 minutes already.
Well, I know, but like, I mean, it's wrong, but I feel like I'm just in my living room talking to my friends.
You should absolutely do that. We encourage.
That is literally the vibe of Stone Fruit Roll-Up.
Yeah, like I just think, everybody's got these shirts that say "Be kind." Yeah, sure, be kind of a bitch.
I love that. That's so funny to me.
I think I've seen that though. Like I haven't invented that, but
okay. Well, we also didn't invent shirts, Mom. So
no, we didn't.
Doesn't mean it's taken.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Well, walk with me. I have an idea for you, and I just kind of want to explore it a little bit, and then we can talk about it. I think that I don't know, because this isn't my bailiwick at all. So obviously, you're going to need to do your own research. But I keep thinking about the B2B aspect of it. But if there's a marriage of like the custom design and the B2B aspect. And what I really mean, or what's coming to mind, the dispensary, restaurants, company t-shirt, things that require a little bit of personality to it because you have a snarky or a scrappy or sarcastic brand already. So maybe you're a restaurant where the shtick is that we're either a little naughty and maybe
eat at Joe's and get gas.
Things something like that. You're at an oyster bar and it's like cheap mother shucker. But sometimes, and I think it's really interesting when organizations like that, like a restaurant or whatever, that people have a couple different choices, and somebody's got one thing on the back, somebody's got another thing. You kind of start to create a collection, almost like a concert t-shirt. When you go to a concert and you're like, there's the hoodie, there's the blah blah blah, but they're all kind of branded within that artist. That's an interesting idea to me. Also doing merch for for breweries and quirky, sarcastic brands that need an idea person to come up with the merch ideas. Okay. So that's interesting to me. I just want to know what you guys think about that.
I'll let you take
I would love that. That would be so much fun. I love writing. I love puns. I'm addicted to puns. I always have been. Like, I've always been the kid who had we're all nuts, and there's peanuts on your shirt and shit since I was little. So
that's hilarious.
That's my fault.
That's okay though. But I don't know if you guys have Blue Notes down there or had the store Blue Notes. I don't know.
We had a jazz club called the Blue Notes.
No, it was just a teen store that had quirky stuff. My whole closet is just puns. So if I could do stuff like that for a living, I love writing. I love creative writing.
I mean, I could see you having a very specialized arm. I could see you having 3 divisions. Your design, you just need the workhorse of the shirts. Buy local, woman-owned, exactly what you're doing. Your design.
Okay.
I could see where you have maybe a curated collections. Maybe it's the Karenisms, and you've got 5 things that are in there that you're not producing in advance, but to your point of processing orders, I need I need the bitch please in red, hoodie.
Yes. Yeah.
And then, and then the third thing would be kind of a catalog of clients in which you kind of were their merch merchant, but they really were looking for someone else to come up with the ideas, someone else to come up with the designs, someone else to come up with the words. They weren't going to come to you. So you'd have really kind of 3 divisions of that, 2 which you're already doing. One you haven't started doing yet, but say you became the official merch developer and collaborator for Stone Fruit, and you made an Octophilia tour shirt, and I didn't have to come up with that design. You did. Yeah. And there was a Stone Fruit apron that was your pie thing that was I'm baked too, and there was a tumbler, an insulated tumbler that we got in partnership with Natasha. And I could sell those online on my own merch store at a markup, or I could give them as client gifts or whatever. Yeah. But you kind of became my custom bespoke partner of expressing the brand in creative ways beyond I don't know what clever design the dispensary came up with for you, but if it was great, then they probably had a designer who helped them with that. But a lot of organizations aren't going to have a clever designer just in their pocket. And I could see them developing a relationship with you where you're kind of creating their merch catalog that's one of a kind. I don't know if you've seen or have you heard of Meow Wolf? It's kind of it's an interactive art experience. There's 3 of them in the in the US. Good Lord. Their gift shop is bananas. It took kind of a curated shopper or someone to create the gifts that would go along, they would sell in the gift shop that make them wantable more than just a keychain, a refrigerator magnet, the logo on a shirt. Yeah. Somebody had to come up with these things, and I can see you partnering with a business to do that. I'm going to turn the mic over to you and let me know for your response.
Go ahead, Kitty.
I didn't hear her, so you can go, Mom.
What do you...
What do you think about that idea? That's what I'm saying.
Well, there you go. Actually, the dispensary that we did their merch for them, it was so vanilla. It was
Their logo.
It was just their logo. And I said, we can put doobies going up the sleeves. We can really zhuzh this up. I'm thinking of doing some tie-dye shirts with a couple of samples for them. Like, they also use their merchandise as like points that they can earn after so many sales.
Yep.
So I'm thinking like we could do some really off the wall like tie-dye with their logo on it and stuff like that, because I mean, that vibe goes together well. And I could just think we could get very creative with them, and it was just very their name with a doobie underneath it.
Yeah, and they need to compete and stand up. I don't know what the market is like where you guys are, but where I am, it's kind of cutthroat and competition because there can be a dispensary like on every corner. So
Pretty
whether
much.
or not, whether you've got like a point system that, gives me some brand loyalty or whatever. But somewhere in that mix is a forward-thinking dispensary owner who thinks, I need to create brand loyalty, and I'm going to do that through the vehicle of like cool shit that people want to have. Like, I'm trying to think of a brand that might do this already that's like top of mind, where it's like, I definitely want that shirt because it's not just a logo on a shirt. It says something about me and my personality. And you can create, I think it wouldn't be hard to find business owners who know that they can stand out by creating much more of a relationship with their brand identity and their customer's identity.
Yeah.
But you'd have to market it, obviously. You'd have to go to the dispensary and be like, look, you've been coming to us for logo only. And I don't know if you've had a chance to consider or whatever. I'm sales scrub, but like we're considering opening up a catalog that's essentially custom design merch for our clients who have like maybe a disruptor brand or they're snarky. I wrote down sarcasm that goes over the head. That's such a wonderful tagline because almost everything you're talking about goes over your head physically.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like a t-shirt physically goes over your head.
I'm so slow today.
I'm not trying to go over your head, Karen. But sarcasm that goes over the head, like if you're a snarky brand and that's what you're leaning into, we're the hilarious, or you're a fringe brand like a dispensary, or you're kind of a little bit on the underground or this or the fringe population. Those would be good places for you to kind of start looking as well. So I could see 1, 2, 3 categories: mechanics, like you're doing right now, some custom collections that Karen can have fun with, or you can partner with somebody else. I could even see I could also see, and then branded business merch. Like I could see you doing a set of note cards. Let's take it back to Stone Fruit, maybe correspondence cards that have something funny on it that I send to clients. And it's my branded stationery, my branded apparel, my branded whatever, but it's beyond the logo. That's interesting. Okay. Would I be erroneous if I kind of followed in this direction a little bit? Are we yes to like pursuing that idea a little bit?
Yeah.
Karen? Okay, awesome.
Good.
Okay, so then let's talk about the person who actually wears this stuff. Who is so excited that they would spend, I'm going to just throw a number out there. I don't know what it is. This is fake, you guys, but who would spend $45 on a long sleeve t-shirt because it was hilarious? Who is that person? do you think?
Go ahead.
Kathleen.
Well, first of all, I'm that person, but I think people like originally we had based it off of like somebody like my cousin who has like a really good job, disposable income. She has really good humor too. But I think it's really just people who are comfortable with being seen, not being the norm, who want custom stuff to themselves. I think it's kind of irrelevant, like the price point and like who the actual person is. But I think the people who will wear what we have to make are people who are like, now that's fucking funny and want to buy it. And
Yep.
it's like kind of regardless of price. I bought funny stuff for $5 and I've, like yours, Mom, bought funny stuff for like $200 because I think it's fucking funny.
Yeah.
And I want it and I will have it. Like, they're
My
just,
favorite.
I think they're just not willing to settle on being boring.
No
Plus,
brand.
we also, sorry.
Exactly, Rebecca. No brand deserves to be boring. And I think that really translates to people. Like, I've really stepped out of my comfort zone with clothing in the past little while, and I have never been friggin' happier with the way that I look. It is fucking wild in my closet. I don't even know what's happening in there right now.
Karen?
Yeah, I was just going to say that we're lucky we live in the capital of Canada. Almost everybody works for the government, high tech. It's very insulated area from any economic downturns. Like, there's just, your house price is not going to go down. Your sweatshirt is not going to be cheap. Everybody has the expectation that things cost and they're willing to pay. We're very lucky that way.
And so, what are they missing in their lives that sarcasm that goes over your head would deliver to them? Are they like, if they're government workers and tech companies, are they like stuck in a suit all day and need to be free? Or is this an artistic community where everybody is brave enough to use their voice and have fuck on their shirt?
Well, I don't think we actually sold a shirt that said fuck on it. So we got a
but everyone loved it so much. Kathleen. I found that actually. Like, I saw a Big Nick energy was something I saw online, and then we just took a Santa Claus and put it with it. That's hysterical to me.
I think that it's hysterical to me is really the TLDR of this brand.
Yeah, I love wearing stuff that I think is really funny. I know I'm saying a lot of me things, but like, obviously there's other people in this world like me, or I would be a total loser and have no one to talk to.
Jilly always says,
my 3 friends.
Jilly always says, when will businesses understand that they're their own ideal client?
Yeah, I think it's just like, I love humor. I love puns. I love making people slightly uncomfortable and make them go, what? I like the idea of funny shirts because sometimes it really makes people think, and you can have something so subtle and like people walk away and be like, what the hell was that? And like think about it. You know what I mean?
So a conversation starter?
Yeah. I think people, even if they're not like willing to wear something that says like fuck on it, that they can have little things like on a level that they're comfortable with to showcase a bit of their personality, things that they find funny that bring them like even something so small, like just a little piece of joy. When someone looks at it and you're like, ha, that person's looking at my shirt.
You could say, those are my people. They understand my shirt.
I just want to give a shout out to Tony here in the comments and thank him for always being such a loyal watcher and participant here at the Stonefort Roll-Up. And he wants to know about your jokes, which is a very Tony thing to do, as he loves the construction of jokes, and wants to know how you kind of get to how do you get it to your final form? How do you know something's really funny in your designs? That's an awesome question.
I don't actually know if anything I say is actually funny, but I think it's great. I will make something, and if I still like it a day later and laugh at it, I think it's great. And if I don't, I will. I have never reworked anything in my whole entire life when it comes to that, except for like over stressing about business writing on my website. But I have a fabulous copywriter for that now, so that's great.
Also available for hire.
Do it. But I just honestly, it's like in the shower, think of something funny, jot it down. I'm like, do I like that? Yes. I have notepads and notepads and shit everywhere with literally like segments of sentences. I couldn't write a story to save my life, but I have thousands of like 3 words. Where I go.
So Karen, Kathleen loves the creativity of the wordplay.
Yes.
What's your element in the design that you bring to the table?
Well, quite often, I like to take like innocent-looking pictures, like the Santa Claus, and then it says Big Nick Energy, and like half the population will take that as a penis reference, which it was, and the other half of the population will take that as, God, they really love Santa, don't they? And sort of things like that. I like to take sort of innocent things and just tweak it a bit, so people are like, did they actually mean that? Like, am I taking that the right way? And there's quite often I'll see something or hear a phrase or something, and I'll send it to Kat and say, is this our vibe? And she'll go, yes or no.
That's our vibe.
You know, like,
who can you think of? I'm kind of really obsessed with this like custom merch idea. Who can you think of, like, industry-wise, that's your vibe? Dispensaries, breweries, bars and restaurants. I'm going to just say sex shops.
Cafes. Like little coffee shops.
Cafes.
Yeah. We also have a hugely popular freight farm near us.
What's a freight farm?
Oh, where
my worst nightmare.
Your worst nightmare. It's a place. It's really popular. They get like 30,000 people a year that go through their farm at Halloween. Like
haunted houses.
Yes.
Fake murders everywhere. Zombies chasing you through corn mazes.
So Kathleen and I are tossing the idea around of coming up with some designs. And they don't sell T-shirts. They don't sell sweatshirts. They don't sell anything spooky. And I'm like, this makes no sense to me. So we're tossing around the idea of coming up with some designs and going to them and saying, we can make this merch for you. We can make it at this price. You can sell it at that price. Like, it should be a no-brainer for them.
Karen, is this a call in the future? Because we just came up with that idea like 20 minutes ago. You're already doing it. You're already
came up
doing
with
it.
This idea?
Well, I'm just saying, like, this is kind of what we've been talking about, of like that custom merchant. And I'm just saying, like, oh my God, we're already doing it. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
You see, I'm so literal. I apologize.
Not at all. I was just like, this is amazing, because you're actually already doing it.
Well, like,
you just haven't done it formally.
We haven't done it formally, but I'm thinking, like, I mean, this is a no-brainer.
I agree. It's almost like a buyer, but reverse. Like, the buyer is normally internally. You're like a buyer, but you're also the producer, but you're also an external partnership. Very interesting. I think we could come up with so many businesses if we sat down and thought about it. Tarot card readings, like drag shows, punk, like raves.
Yeah.
Just like if we just sat here and brainstorm, I'm sure we could come up with all these different cross sections of kind of fringe.
Yeah.
Fringe that really want to stand on their snark. Because that's what we're looking for, right? That's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, snark. Okay.
But our name is so sweet. And I think that works too.
Tell me how you came up with this name.
It's Olivia, Amelia, and Owen's birth flowers. It was just a name I had in my pocket from a long time ago.
That's so cute.
Like, we can keep the name, whatever, and like the logo can change to just a typography that's like more edgier. Or we can change the name completely. Like, it's not.
I kind of love the juxtaposition, and that's something I've heard from you guys a lot actually on this call is like, we love unexpected juxtaposition that you have to be smart enough to get.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so if you have a sweet name that then you're able to kind of like represent graphically in a juxtaposition, I think you'll have nailed your brand look. If you're just always kind of riding the line between, you know, again, this like soft and delightful, but and you have to like be clever enough. You have to be smart enough to get it. It's not a turnoff if you don't get it. It works on the soft side. It's kind of like, have you ever seen those, shirts that have that like sequins on them, and if you like rub it, it's almost like lenticular printing, you know, and then you look at it that way. So it's either like angel or devil, and they're both appealing at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What else do you want me to know about this business or brand that you think I should know or that we haven't talked about?
I can't really think of anything right now, Rebecca.
No, I can't think of anything.
Okay, good. Is there anything to the fabric or the places or the things where you source, like the tote bags, the aprons, the socks, the whatever? Is there anything that I should know about how that's sourced, or it's like the world's softest shirts, or they're tagless, or they don't shrink? Is there anything you want me to know about this, the quality of the apparel?
They are very good quality. They're 50% cotton and 50% polyester. The cotton is grown in the United States of America, and it is ethically sourced and it's ethically picked. The company that creates the shirts is one of on the top like 100 or whatever ethical companies from Forbes. They have huge programs in the countries where they have the shirts made. So they're not made in the States, but everything's picked in the States and then sent overseas. But they're not like actual sweatshops. The people that are there get above living wages for where they live. They're getting taught how to read. It's funny. It actually says women and their husbands are getting taught how to read. A lot of them are in big farming communities. So the company actually sources a lot of the produce from the farms and then sells it in their own grocery stores inside of their building. So their workers can get it at an extra discounted rate. They've made some promises to make sure that women have more position of power within their companies. So they've made promises to hire like X amount of women into management and supervision roles. So pretty committed to staying with this t-shirt brand.
Oh my God, I didn't really expect you to have that kind of an answer, but here you are. Like, well, mic drop. Question.
I told you, I am an ethical entrepreneur, bitch.
Oh my God, now that's what's going on my shirt. Do we do zip-up hoodies and do we do V-necks?
We can do anything.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. If someone was interested in finding out more about you right now, what should they do, Kathleen?
They can send us an email at hello@hollyandthepoppy.ca, or you can follow us on Instagram at hollyandthepoppy.ca.
That sounds lovely. Will you two wonderful ladies, mother and daughter team, heart and soul, snark and not snark, sarcasm that goes over your head at Holly and the Poppy, come back and be with me next week at this same time, and we'll really get into words that will work for you based on our conversation today?
Yeah, I'm really freaking excited.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, awesome sauce. Then we will do that. We will come back here 1 week, audience at home, come back for the exciting reveal when we'll look at some actual positioning statements, brand positioning statements, and words that Karen and Kathleen can use to sell the pants off, sell their sarcastic pants off with this wonderful apparel company, woman-owned, sarcastic as fuck. Who wouldn't want it? I know. I do. So we will see you guys next week. And I thank Tony for coming along in the comments. And
thanks, Tony.
And anyone else who's watched us today. This has been the Stone Fruit Roll-Up. I am Rebecca Gunter. We are here every Thursday live on YouTube and also on LinkedIn. And if, again, friendly reminder, if you want me to do this for you, either at home or live coaching, please reach out to me at Rebecca, REBCCA.Gunter, GUNTER at stoned, STONED, fruit.com. All right, everybody, we will see you next week. Bye-bye, French fries.
Bye-bye.